Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pixelists podcast, the podcast about all the nerdy things we love and enjoy. I'm Will, that's Blake, and today we're here to signal boost something very near and dear to our hearts. A
I
little
like that
event.
expression. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I interrupted your intro again.
No, it's fine. That's part of our brand now, honestly.
Throw out a little signal boost. I like that.
Yeah, a little signal boost. Full
Yeah.
disclosure, I actually kind of absorbed that terminology from Critical Role, believe it or not.
Okay. I thought you were going to be like, yeah, someone said it like 8 minutes ago, so I've been using it as much as I can.
No, so
It's
I mean,
like-
not to get too off subject, but since a lot of our audience are Critical Role
Yeah.
people, they'll know what I'm talking about. But back in their Geek and Sundry days, when they launched, one of the shows they launched was called Signal Boost, and it was like
Okay.
the different cast members would come on and kind of plug different things they enjoyed. Anyway,
Okay.
today,
I thought. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, you know how like sometimes you hear like a really smart word and you're like, and you're just kind of like, yeah, totally. But in your head, you're like, what? And so you do a little Googling and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
And then in the next convo, you're like, yeah, gregarious,
Yeah, you drop
But
it
then
like you've been using it your whole life.
But then you use it like 4 times in the same convo and it's been like 4 minutes and you kind of tell they're kind of like, you really like that word. But anyway, I've never done it. I'm just speaking hypothetically.
Of course.
So,
Of course.
so yeah. And you know what? You mentioned Critical Role. I bet some of you guys are checking out this video because you think we're talking about the latest episode. Joke's on you. Haven't watched it yet. But Will, you watched it though, right?
I've seen the first half. I didn't
Okay.
finish it last night.
Okay, we'll have that coming in the next few days for sure. But yeah, we're talking about something different. I stole your intro, so I feel like you should be the one to tell everybody. So
I like
go
we're
on,
just
my good
keeping
friend.
everyone in suspense now. They're like, what is
Yeah.
this video about?
Yeah.
But no, we're going to talk about games done quick. Again, something near and dear to our hearts. If you've been following the channel for a long time, you've heard us talk about this before. But it's a special speed running marathon charity event. And it is going to be starting this Sunday, January 8th. Yeah, January 8th, 2023, for anyone that's watching this video for some reason way in the future or something. And yeah, so it gets started Sunday. So Blake and I wanted to hop on really quick and again, just signal boost it. And for those of you that aren't aware, let you in on the secret.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of Will and I's like tried and true traditions, if you can call it that. Like there's just it's an event that happens twice a year. All games done quick in the wintertime, summer games done quick in the summertime. This event is benefiting the Prevent Cancer Foundation, and they usually raise about $3 million. Like it's a real deal event. And if you haven't checked out the event before, Will and I pretty much, it's a week-long event, so it'll run from Sunday to late Saturday night next week.
Yeah, and nonstop. Like it's literally 24/7 starting Sunday for a whole week.
And you'll find it on Twitch on the Games Done Quick channel. But like I was saying, this is a tradition for Will and I, is that like, okay, it's AGDQ coming up. It's SUDQ for, I think, almost like 10 years now.
Yeah, I mean, getting close, if not.
And you've been watching, I think, maybe a year or two longer than I have. But it's a pretty awesome event. We love it. And so naturally, since this channel is all about all things nerdy, we want to tell you about it. Some of the cool stuff about it is it's called Games Done Quick because it's typically speed runs. So they will play all sorts of games, from the most nostalgic games that you remember playing as a kid that maybe you played it for hours and hours and hours for months, and maybe you finally beat it. And then you're going to watch this streamer get on and beat it in like 6 minutes.
Yep.
Or you might see like a more recent game, like a really challenging game. I'm sure we might even see like Elden Ring on there, where not only will people play a game and beat it very quickly, but they'll do like what's called a 100% run, where they collect literally everything, and they do that in like 2 hours. So it's a pretty fun event, and it's got just a really great community fanfare along with it. So yeah, we wanted to signal boost it.
Yeah. We love signal boosting over here.
Yeah. Signal boost. So, having said that, my wife asked me, like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do to kick off the event? I feel like I ask you this each time. What's part of your tradition? What are some of the things you do to make this a fun event?
I mean, I usually get some snacks, of course, you know. And
What's at the top of your snack game? If we were gonna draft some snacks, just
oh,
go and give me your first pick.
oh
We
my
won't get too
gosh.
into it, but your first pick, what's your go-to snack?
Okay, like specifically like AGDQ, or are we just talking like gamer snacks in general?
Let's stick it with, we don't want to get too wild. Let's stick with just AGDQ.
Okay, okay. Well, in that case, I mean, oh man, I've done no homework here, so I'm scared I'm gonna make
Well,
some
this is
really
great though,
bad
because
picks.
it's coming straight from your gut. So we
You're right.
know it's part of your core.
Okay, the first I got to be true to my soul. The first thing that came to mind were some Cheez-Its.
Nice, dude.
I mean,
You
those
gotta go. I know I'm big on like the big shaped ones though.
those are
I think it's
good.
I think
Those are
it's a
good.
game changer. It tastes different. The flavor profile is a little bit different, a little bit cheesier in my mind.
It is, which
Um,
is weird, but 100%
yeah,
agree. You turned me onto those, and now that's my go-to as well. Like it's hard to
bro.
go back.
You know what's a snack that I never have anymore, but that's like a total nostalgia bomb with you because you
What's that?
always had it. Those Pillsbury cookies with like the chocolate stripes on
Oh,
it.
the fudge stripes?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
like the
yeah.
zebra cookie thing, but like
Right, right.
they're like a cookie with like chocolate stripes on it. I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah,
we
yeah.
always had that growing up at your house, but
Fudge stripes. I think that's what they're called.
I just associate it with you now. So
I mean, I'm sure we did, but like I don't even associate that. Like I
yeah,
wouldn't say that was one of my main ones, but I'm sure we did
it
because I remember
was.
those.
It was.
Is that
When
your
I
first pick?
no, I literally haven't had it in like 20 years, but
I
if I
haven't
was to
either.
devour a sleeve, I would think of you. My first pick would probably also, am I allowed to say Cheez It since you already said it?
No, you can't say it since I said it.
Oh, my bad.
I
Sorry.
guess you can. I mean, we're not getting official
I would
here.
say the Cheeto Puffs.
The
I could
balls
just go,
or the
oh, balls are disgusting.
the
No,
whatever they're called.
the phallic ones. The more
Yes.
curvy ones.
Now I see why you like them.
I can go to town on those. Those are pretty delish.
Those are good.
You get the heavy Cheeto
Get the
dust.
dust, yep.
It's true.
Which is why I was asking for clarification earlier if we were talking gamer snacks or not, because the dust would be
Yeah.
a component, but since we're just talking GDQ, that's a good pick.
I will also say we'll typically do like GDQ themed cookies of some kind that my wife will make. And then I always got to buy some GDQ merch. So I got this really awesome mouse pad. I can't show it because I wasn't ready to show it. So I'd have to like literally like throw everything off the desk to show it. But I am wearing a GDQ shirt.
I should have been wearing one.
Pretty much all my shirts now are GDQ merch in some way. So,
which, yeah, on that note, again, this is a charity event, and I always buy a shirt as well. But that money goes to the charity, so it's a great way to contribute. You can get some cool gamer swag, if you will. But yeah, Blake and I have made it a tradition to always at least get like one piece of merch from each year.
Though I had one that I forgot to get one like 2 years ago, and I've like always regretted it. And then one other thing too. I know this. They have the schedule for you guys. They have the schedule posted online if you want to check it out on gamesdonequick.com. This year will be an online event. They have some information there you can check out. But Will, I know you don't like to check the schedule. Meanwhile, and you're a little bit interesting about it. And it's kind of like I don't know if it's a bad omen for you to check the schedule, but for me, I like to check the schedule and just see what of my favorite games are going to be on there. And I got to tell you guys, without spoiling it for Will, this year has some pretty awesome games done quick.
Yeah, I'm so excited. But yeah, I think this kind of like says a lot about our different perspective on things, because I feel like you like to just get spoiled.
Are we going to get into this? I can't help myself with spoilers.
I know,
but I feel like that's a totally different topic.
I feel like there's a thin line.
Oh my gosh!
But yeah, but for any of you who have never seen Games Done Quick, I would recommend going and looking at the schedule and finding a game that you love, maybe a game you grew up on, or maybe one maybe God of War Ragnarok, if you just played that, and then figure out when that is, and definitely tune in for that, because I think it makes a whole lot more sense if you're completely new to it, to be exposed to it with a game you're familiar with, because then you can understand like the craziness of what these people are doing.
Yeah, when you explain it, it doesn't always quite hit. But like my wife, for example, grew up playing Sonic on Sega Genesis, and like, it's like so hard of a game. And we watched a stream of someone playing it and speedrunning it, and she like instantly went from like, what is this event, to, are you freaking kidding me? Like, this is insane. And I was like, right. And then also there's just like some hidden gems on there, like games I'd never played before that I'll see the speed run. I'll be like, this game was awesome. Like, I need to check this out. So
Yeah, 100%. So like us now being familiar with speedrunning and what we're watching, now I honestly look forward to the games I've never heard of, because that's like my new way of discovering a game I maybe want to play, or discovering a new streamer or somebody I want to check out, because every game is
right,
obviously played by somebody, and usually they're an expert, and they'll typically have what's called a couch, which is like their friends or other people that also speedrun the game that are helping explain everything that's happening, because sometimes the player themselves has to focus so hard on
right,
trying to do these glitches or these tricks that they're doing, that they
yeah,
can't be the one to explain it. But anyway, all that to say is that you don't have to be familiar with the game to enjoy it. Once you kind of dive in, you can enjoy it all
right,
anyway.
right.
But yeah, I always find at least one new person on Twitch that I'll start to follow, or something like that during each event.
Yeah, and there also is typically excuse me, I was like getting the sentence started and the cough came on. There'll be some cool like themed blocks of games that'll be on there, like usually like a Mario block, and typically a Castlevania block and things like that. But aside from that, Will, give me for a second quick draft. Give me one of your favorite games you've got to see on GDQ.
Ooh, on GDQ. There's so many, but some of my favorite things to watch are the races, which will be like, like we said, people speed run the games, but a lot of times during the week, they'll have multiple people all playing the same game at the same time to see who can do it the fastest. And there'll usually be like a couple quirks thrown in, like, you got to beat it, but you got to like skip this boss, or you got to, do this way.
Right.
And that's just an added element that makes it really fun. And sometimes there's relay races, which are really fun. Like, it might be play, I just picked something random here, like Mega Man, 1 through 5. And the race is going to be from starting the first one to finishing the 5th one. And so like maybe one person will play the first one, and then they'll hand the controller off to the next guy. So I know that was kind of like a very general answer to your question, but I love the races.
Those are fun. I think one of my favorites is the randomizers. And I think it was probably 2 or 3 years ago, they did a Link to the Past randomizer, which, if you guys aren't familiar with what a randomizer is, basically they mod the game to take the items that you typically find and they put them in random locations. So if you think about like playing Legend of Zelda, maybe you've played like Ocarina of Time, like the first big reward chest has the a sword in it. Well, maybe instead it has the hook shot. And so now you have to figure out, okay, no, how do I play the game differently now? And so basically they've modded the game to put items in different places. And I think the one I actually watched was a Link to the Past Metroid like cross randomizer where you were going like back and forth, and it was like, it was crazy, just nuts. But so that's probably my favorite type of game.
Yeah, I completely forgot about the randomizers. Those are freaking amazing. So there really is something for everybody. I mean, if you're watching our channel, you're probably, into the same type of stuff Blake and I are. So I'm pretty sure if you're watching this video, you'll definitely like it. But even if, you don't think it's for you, like I said, I'd recommend jumping on the schedule, looking for a game you recognize, and definitely tuning in to check that out. And of course, we've said this, but I'll say it again. The best part about all of this is it's for such a great cause. Like, we're raising millions of dollars for great charities.
Right.
And it's just awesome to be part of the community. They always get a ton of viewers, and it's fun to just kind of, I don't know, participate in something like this, even just as a viewer.
Yeah.
So,
well, we'll put the link to the website, and I guess maybe even the Twitch channel down in the episode description. And then it starts in just over 48 hours. It'll be starting on the 8th, this upcoming Sunday. Again, it'll run for an entire week, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pretty exciting stuff. And then separate from AGDQ, we have coming down the pike, we have The latest Critical Role episode we're going to be talking about. We're also going to be putting out some content on 1D&D, and I think Will and I were talking about the OGL, the creator document licensure thing. I don't know if we'll do an actual video on that, but it would be good for you guys who are a bit savvy, been digging deep into it. I'd love to hear kind of your thoughts on it and your reactions to it. And just more D&D content in general. So,
and Last of Us we're going to be covering as well.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I don't remember what day that comes out, but it's this month.
I think it's the 20th maybe, or I'm not sure. But yeah, we are going to be covering that. So we're excited to be checking that show out as well. So, all right. That's it. Will, quick thumbnail?
Yeah. I guess just like excited. I don't know.
Yeah, I like it.
That work for you? All right.
Yeah, works for me. All right, cool.
Beautiful.
Well, thank you guys for checking out our video today, and we'll catch you later.